Look at this ready position by Jorja Johnson as Dekel Bar is about to attack her. Now he just got a dink from JW that was left kind of high, and Jorja sees that she's about to be attacked. So you'll see Jorja in comfortably, allowing her to go left and right side of her body. She's not way out here. A lot of players, they extend out here and then they have to pull back really far and then push out. And usually by the time they pulled back, the ball's already coming at their paddle and just what I call eating their paddle. Versus what Jorja's doing is she's relaxed, she's comfortable, she knows the attack's coming, and she's ready to go left and right side of her body really quick. Now let's watch the rest of this point play out as Dekel attacks. And then, yep, she's not only ready in her center line, but she's also sliding as she feels this is going to come at her right shoulder. Again, pros, they know the right shoulder or the hitting arm, shoulder, and hip are very vulnerable because it's really hard for a forehand and a backhand to get to the hip and shoulder. If she was left-handed, he would be trying to go at her left shoulder and left hip. Because this ball was attacked from low, she knows it's coming up high, so probably chest to shoulder height. So her shoulder is the most vulnerable, but she's sliding to help make it more difficult for Dekel to hit the spot that he wants to hit on her body. And there it is. Nice counter with the forehand. This is happening really quick, but this counterattack to Anna Bright, it's a lot harder for her to get this because Dekel, he knows where he's going on her body. And so therefore he knows where it's more likely to come back based off of angles. But Anna Bright's having to process this as it's being sped up. So the person not speeding up, it's a lot harder for them to process where the ball is going to come back. And so Jorja is able to get it at Anna Bright's foot. Very, very good counterattack. Was she aiming there? Maybe, maybe not. But whether she was consciously or subconsciously, I think she knows spots that are good to counterattack to, and great hands nonetheless. Another thing I would like to point out as far as ready position for counterattacking. So ready position can be quite complex, and there should be different ready positions for different shots. Like you wouldn't want to be ready at your shoulders if you are expecting a ball coming at your shin or feet. So if your opponent's hitting high, for example, and they're slamming it towards your feet and you're in transition, let's say, you would want to have a much lower ready position. In this case, Jorja is being attacked from low, and they're both at the kitchen, so Georgia's ready higher, like at her chest, ready to counterattack from her shoulders and chest. Now again, Jorja has that kind of head-on ready position where her paddle's basically facing her target, allowing her to go both sides of her paddle. If your hands are not quick enough for this, and a lot of people's aren't, I like to tell people that a good ready position would be one that you're trying to guess where your opponent is about to hit it hard and fast. So for me, if I know like 90% of the shots that my opponent is about to hit off of this ball that's sitting up are going to come to my left shoulder, I would put my paddle at my left shoulder and I would try to counterattack it. If I can get to my left shoulder and get to this one, yes, this is ideal. But again, I think a lot of people that don't have quite the hand speed, they just come to a neutral ready position, hoping that they can get to both sides of their body and then aren't able to get to either side of their body. And that's a problem. So what I tell people that maybe can't do that, which again is probably over 50% of the player base, maybe even 70, 80% of the player base. Heck, my hands, I don't even feel comfortable with being in a neutral spot. So I'll often be cheating to one side or the other based on what ball my opponent is about to hit. And as you start thinking of your ready position like this, you'll start noticing, oh, that player, every time they get a ball out here, they're going right to my shoulder. So I'm going to just go ahead and try to defend that. I'm going to go ahead and sit on that and make them hit it somewhere else. Versus, oh, I'm going to go to this neutral spot and then 9 times out of 10 not even be able to get to the ball that they're hitting 9 times out of 10. So something to think about when you're thinking about your ready position when your opponents are about to attack. Also, I think that if you don't know if your opponents are about to attack or play safe, you should be ready for the attack. It's a lot easier to go from I'm ready for their attack to, oh, they dinked it, I'm going to get a dink. than to go, oh, I think they're going to dink it. Oh, shoot, they just attacked me in the chest, and now I don't have time to get my paddle there. So those are my thoughts on some of the ready positions that I help people with, and the difference between a pro's ready position being kind of ready for both sides of their body, and someone that might not have the quick hands like a pro, who I would tell, it's okay to cheat one way or the other if you can start guessing at where your opponents are going to go. This might sound kind of difficult, but really, when you start trying it, you'll notice some players, they just hit to the same spot every time. And they might hit it hard to the same spot, but if you notice that, you go, okay, well, they've hit it 18 out of the last 18 times middle to my middle side. I might as well start putting my paddle in the middle instead of right here at my body and being late to get to the middle. So it's just something to think about. I think a lot of people struggle with ready position, particularly when they're getting attacked. So these things hopefully will help some of you out there that struggle with that same thing. That's it for the video. If you are looking or know someone that's looking for a paddle, I have 4 different artwork versions of my Brute, and you can find it on my website, which I'll put in the link here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.